Good morning. It's day 30 in the simulator, and it's 6:25 in the morning, 5 minutes till the market opens. And here are the stocks gapping up on the gap scanner this morning. We have a few good looking stocks, so we might see some good action here today. I didn't put EPZM on there. It didn't look good. It's too cheap, and it's got a really high float, so that's not going to work for me. So I put NRSN as my number one pick and AXSM as my number two pick. And it was really hard to pick a number one, but because they are all looking kind of strong. AGRX actually is the weaker of the three. I'm actually going to put BOXD here now that I think about it, because BOXD is looking a lot stronger actually. And I'm going to put AGRX over here on the other monitor. And the reason why I did that is because if you look at the hourly time frame here, you see how that's kind of sold off on the hourly, so it's not as appealing to me. Back over there, I gotta line out a couple things here actually. Okay. Yeah, so NRSN, big green candle on that hourly time frame. Must have had some news. Got the same thing happening on AXSM and a little different on BOXD. Looks like yesterday BOXD had a really nice day. And I'm trying to remember BOXD. Did we trade that on Friday? I don't recall. Anyways, this is Monday in the simulator, so starting a new week here, and so let's mark out some support levels. We have the look of an equilibrium here. It's a little choppy, not quite the perfect look. And that's all I'm going to mark out on that one, I believe. You got the high of the move, the low of the pullback, and a tightening range. So anything above 244 is a higher low. Bulls would like to see a higher low and a higher high and a breakout over 279. We're not really extended on the 5 minutes, so that could certainly happen. And I might be looking for that. We are definitely extended on the 15. But the way I trade in these smaller time frames, the 15-minute being extended isn't quite as important to me. I've said this before, I only really look at the larger time frames like the 15 and the hourly just to kind of see what the overall trend is doing. We have a double bottom here. We came back down and tested this, $34. It's a psychological level. Also, this EMA is catching up to that level. Volume, pretty big volume candle on that red volume candle. Or, yeah, okay. So the high is quite a ways away, but we could get there. It's not too bad. It's a bull flag on the 15 minute. But I am kind of looking at the hourly here. You got this long upper wick, and so maybe time to pull back further on the hourly time frame. We've already broken the support of this last candle here, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to keep dropping. The time is 6:29. Boy, I better get a move on here. I know I can't trade in that first 1 minute candle. I would like to mention that at the end of this video, I'm going to do a trade recap of yesterday's action and break down what went wrong and what I could do better. So stick around for that if you'd like. I'm going to set some stop loss parameters here and get ready to trade. The market's going to open in about 12 minutes or 12 seconds. I didn't break down AGRX on the other screen because I don't even like it. There may be a a bounce on it, but it's a bear flag right now on the 15 minutes, so I'm not even gonna look at it. Looks like on the major markets over here, it looks like we're in a hourly uptrend on SPY. So inside bar on NRSN on the 15 minute. Yeah, AGRX giving it up. So BOXD looking like the stock everybody's trading here. Hitting that high of day momentum scanner. Taking a starter position on NRSN. I'm going to add if it drops down further. This to me feels like a buy and hold scenario. I'm looking for a break through the high of day. And ultimately, I would like to get over the high of 279. Nice pullback here on BOXD. Maybe I was a little premature getting in on that pullback. Yeah, I might have been. I got out for break even on that. Well, we'll see what, if anything. I know it's kind of crazy, but I think I'm gonna hop back in on BOXD there and take a chance that it might actually go up. It's a new 5-minute candle. Well, I was hoping that level of 278 would hold. So if I take a stop there, if I get stopped out there, that's okay. Okay, I'm adding to my position there on NRSN on that pullback. NRSN may be a stock that will break the high, but then not hold up. I am aware of that fact. Just going to go ahead and take the profit while I've got it there on BOXD. I'm up 37.50 on BOXD. Bouncing around between green and red here on NRSN. I'm adding there. That's quite a drop. I don't quite like that big drop like that. Got stopped out on that first entry. Let's see now if we get some follow through here. And I'm jumping out and jumping out. I don't like that whipping around like that. So it's, it might go. I just didn't like how whippy that was. So getting out before I end up taking a big loss. I got stopped out. I was down 100 on it, and then I added, and then as it popped up, I sold and got myself back out of the red. So I entered here on BOXD on this candle pulling back. I was counting on it actually going back up and breaking through, but it didn't. And now I'm going to get stopped out there. So I'll buy off of that support. What's that 5-minute look like? Trying to get something going here and not having a whole lot of luck yet. For the moment, I'm staying away from NRSN just because of that whippiness that I saw there. I'll let it break through the highs, maybe then get in. Where's the support level here for? So we got this 5-minute candle. Got a few lines here I need to get rid of. Oops, stopped out there. Boy, that's not ideal, is it? So things are pulling back. I'm just going to kind of let that happen. There's a support down here at 250. I do like that area for a support. Taking a chance here on NRSN buying that. And like I said, I'm worried that NRSN could be one of those that breaks out and then whips back down. So I sold there. Up 159 on NRSN. Unfortunately, I'm down 160 on BOXD. So right now it's kind of a break-even day. NRSN, I'm only going to buy pullbacks now. Nice break through the high. BOXD is trading below the VWAP. We're right at that pivot on the 5-minute here. Trying to hold that. Nice break through the high there on NRSN. $6.39. That candle on BOXD is going to close as a big red candle. Okay, it's going to close right now. Oh, it's just going to keep going. There's $3, so maybe we reject off the 3 and pull back long enough for me to find a nice entry. Can we get through 3 on that? Yep, right through 3. So 280 is a place I could buy. I just bought on BOXD. I'm going to see if that'll make a move through the VWAP. Yeah, I know NRSN is the one that's moving up right now, but I just really don't want to buy it when it's up like this. I know that these kind of stocks can be really whippy. Gonna add on that pullback on BOXD there. It's not really an ideal stock to be trading right now. I'm probably gonna take losses on it. Anytime I trade a stock that's starting to trend down and it's below the VWAP like this, I tend to take losses, and I have been meaning to kind of maybe make some better rules for myself about trading stocks that are starting to trend down, but I haven't got to that point yet. It's better to trade if you're trading bullish. It's definitely better to trade in an uptrend. That's a no-brainer, of course. Well, just kind of patiently waiting for my opportunity on on NRSN here. So on the daily, we have a long ways up to 413. Wouldn't put a lot of weight in this, but there's kind of a pivot here at 350. I guess that's a psychological level too, so maybe. Yeah, in hindsight, you look at this and this pullback down here to this support level. Didn't quite get there, but that really was pretty nice. BOXD looking like it's going to fail here. Yep. Should have been a little more patient on that. Bought off of the support like I had planned on. On a smaller time frame, you'd be seeing some pullbacks here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm buying those dips. A new 5-minute candle. The market itself has been pulling back, trying to get an hourly higher low. Looking for that bounce on BOXD coming off of that support. There is also that's the same one, isn't it? See what kind of a look we get here on NRSN. See if we get continuation on this. Or do we get that pullback on the 5-minute now, consolidation. Buying off of $3. Now what we want to see is that move back up off of $3, going up to the highs, up to and through the highs. And I'm going to completely get out of BOXD and stop trading it because it is totally not worth trading anymore. So I exited all 3 of those trades for a loss. What I'm looking for here on NRSN is an equilibrium. Was looking for an ABCD setup, a 5-minute inside bar with the next inside bar breaking, or even this one could break, that'd be fine, but we'll see. It's not really setting up the way that I wanted it to, so the high of the move there. Higher low, lower high. The fear is that this is going to break out, but fail right away and get rejected. Really nice volume on this move up, but it's kind of declining here. But that's normal for a consolidation period. Yeah, see, that's where it looks like it's going to be rejected. That 5-minute candle just closed. It's pretty likely that we're going to see a 2-bar pullback here on that 5-minute. I could buy that dip right there. That's rather risky. I kind of would rather see it come down a little bit more. So now we have 2 resistance levels to try to break through. You have the high of this last candle and the high of that candle. I do want to move like one of these up in case it does break so that I can capture a little more profit. Getting back in on BOXD over there. So I think I'm going to move my stop losses up a little to the low here. I'm risking $266 on that. And if I get stopped out, what I'm going to do is probably try to jump back in, looking for that 2 bar pullback on the 5 minute. I actually kind of want to move this down a little below $3. I'm looking for $3 to hold, but we'll see. So I've built my position. Now I'm just looking for the bulls to make me a winner. To blast through the highs and make me a winner. I have no control over what happens next. And there we go, making me a winner. And I sold it all because I'm worried about that rejection. And there it is. That's that rejection. I got out of BOXD over here for a small profit. So this was a day where I gave a lot in the beginning. And looking back at this one, you're probably going to see where I was probably down about $400, $500 for a little while there. Took some losses here on BOXD. Traded it more than I should have. Let me show you where I'm at on the day. So you can see I'm down 537 on BOXD. But I built that nice position on NRSN and then got to see that move up and capitalized on that profit. So I think on the day, I'm at my daily goal, 277 on the day. Did I have to risk a lot to get there? Yeah. Was I down pretty good before I got there? Yeah. That seems to be pretty typical though of my trading style. I see that a lot if I go back and take a look at the way I trade. I tend to be down before I'm up. And that's what makes the small account challenge, I think, so much more difficult and challenging for me. Here, this one's going back up now. That's twice now on BOXD where I was in a trade and I got out just before it started to break out. So I'm not doing good on BOXD, so I shouldn't trade it at all. But this would have been pretty nice if I was still in that. I missed this bounce here too. Remember, I was in down here and I sold it and then it bounced. But so yeah, I do really well, and I tend to flourish whenever I have lots of trades that I can take, so that when I do go red, that I know how to get myself back out of the hole most times, or at least close to getting out of the hole. So that being said, I'd like to do a quick recap of that trading day that happened yesterday. I'm done trading here in the simulator account today. I'm up $277, and I'm happy with that. But let's take a look. Yesterday, if you recall, if you watched that video from yesterday, it was a small account challenge. It was day 3, and I lost $563 on that first trade, which was really disappointing because that puts my account down. I lost like over 10% in the account in the first few seconds or first minute of the day. So that was really disappointing. I wasn't too happy about that. But let me just pull up. I took a few screenshots because I thought maybe this would be worth going over and taking a look at. If anybody is trading with the Thinkorswim platform, this is something that would be worth taking note of, so that if you decide to trade in the first minute of the day, this might help you out. So anyways, so I was looking at this stock right here, this INM, and it had been consolidating on the 1 minute time frame, coming up to the bell, and then you had this double bottom right here and a higher low and a higher high, going for a higher high, well, higher than this high. So changing the trend on the 1 minute, and then going into the open, you had this bull flag. And so that was where I wanted to get in, and I wasn't sure in that first 1 minute, because I know in the simulator I can't trade the first 1 minute. It won't let me. But this is the live market. I should be able to trade the 1 minute, that first 1 minute candle, right? So I put my order at $15, looking for that bull flag to follow through and break through the high. And what happened next was, well, it sucked because let me see. I'm supposed to be able to, but it's not letting me. I wonder if I can open all of these. So if I open like that. Oh, I love OneDrive. Okay, here we go. Now maybe this will work. It should let me advance. Okay, I put my order at $15, but then the green one right there, that green limit order, that's my buy order, and then the red is my stop loss, and the other red one up top, that's my target. Those always get placed whenever you never see this green one because I'm usually hitting the market buy button, and so it just buys right away. And that's what I did here, except that it didn't buy right away, and then it just kind of bounced up and down, with the candles, and then it ended up. You can see it got up to where my target was. Essentially, I would have made $200 right there had I gotten filled where I wanted to get filled, because my target and stop, they're not moving. It's just the buy orders moving up and down. And so then at that point, I decided, okay, well, yeah, this isn't going to work. So my order got filled right there at $15.36, just as I hit the cancel button. Now, the problem with that is, as soon as I hit the cancel button, I canceled my stop loss and my target, getting filled at the same time. So now in that moment, I'm trading without a stop loss in place. And that's not something I do. I always want to know what I'm risking before I get into a trade, because if I don't, well, I'm just gambling. So normally when a mistake like this happens, I'm really quick to just hit the sell button, just exit, get out, because I know that I've got, all these, other trades that I could take. So, usually I just get out, reset, and everything's good. Take the loss, whatever. But in this case, I hesitated. And, here's what was like going through my head. So because I have less than $25,000 in my account, I have to adhere to the PDT rule, which says that I can only take 3 trades in a 5-day period. So I took one of those 3 trades at the end of last week, which was Thursday or Friday, made $200, and that was a nice day. And so here it is. It was Monday, and I was like, I've got 2 trades left today that I can use to make, try to get my daily goal. In my head, I was thinking, if I sell this right now for a loss, I only have 1 trade left after this. But if I hold it, maybe it makes a move and I can get out with some profit. That's not a mindset that I usually like to be in, but that's unfortunately in that moment. And I only had a few seconds to think about this. And then this happened. It flushed down, and at that moment, I bailed like right away. And that was a terrible spot to sell. And the reason why is because you've got this pivot right here. And you got the VWAP and the EMA. That was the place to buy. That's not a place to sell. But I didn't want to take a chance that it would keep going. And it flushed pretty quick. So I had to get out. And unfortunately, I took a way bigger loss than what I would ever want to take. It was 5.5 times bigger than what I was, So, and now I've got a challenge ahead of me to try to make that back. So then I tried to buy VTVX on a pullback, and my order got rejected. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right, because I started with $6,000 and now I've only got $5,500 because of that loss. So I got rejected because I don't have the buying power to buy that many shares. So I had to go in and change my parameters for my code. And by the time I got all of that done, as it was finishing up, I started to see a trade that I wanted to take right here on INM again, with this green candle was breaking out over the red one, because you had this low of the move here, this lower high, higher low, and it was equilibrium and it was breaking out. It's like, oh yeah, this is probably the bottom for now. I want to get in there, but I was waiting for my code to finish entering the parameters and stuff. And as soon as it did, I put a limit order at $14.87 to buy 250 shares. So unfortunately, I got filled right here at about 14.91, which is pretty close to my limit order. There was a little slippage there for only 160 shares, like half of the amount that I wanted. But I didn't realize it at the time because, I guess I'm used to trading in a simulator where partial fills just don't exist. And so seeing that my limit order to buy was still showing up on the chart here, I was like, well, it never occurred to me that I could be in a partial position. And what really gets me here is the price went through my target. You see where my target is? The price went through there. So I was in a trade, didn't know it. The price went up to my target. Why didn't it sell? So I can't see the price ladder right there. I can't see where the bid is. Maybe the bid didn't get up that high, but you would have thought it would have sold, the 160 shares, and I could have, that would have been, I don't know, $150 or something like that, but whatever. So, I can't control that. So it never occurred to, I guess the one thing I took away from this is that if I had had my volume turned up, I would have heard the sound that Thinkorswim platform makes when you get into an order. So the two things that I'm taking away from this is, number one, turn my sound up so that next time I'll hear if I'm in a trade. Number two, do not trade the 1 minute time frame. And now here's something funny for you. I called Thinkorswim and I talked to the representative, and I'm like, I explained what happened, on this 1 minute. I'm like, this isn't the first time this has ever happened to me. This has happened to me a long time ago in the past. The response to me was somewhat lacking, in my opinion. All he had to say to me was, well, don't trade that first 1 minute. It's like, really? That's your answer? Just don't trade the first 1 minute. Okay. Well, all right. So I guess I learned my lesson. Don't trade the first 1 minute. Make sure my sound is turned up. So I'm going to be trading again at the end of this week, either Thursday or Friday. I plan to live stream it, I hope, if everything's set up correctly, and start making back this money. I'm down 160 now in the account. So that's okay. We can make it back. So it'll be a fun challenge to try to do it. So that's just wanted to go over that real quick, and just hopefully maybe that would help you guys out too. Don't trade that first 1 minute. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had that problem. So anyways, so I am up 277 today. I'm going to go ahead and post this video on YouTube and get to the heck out of here. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day. And as always, be good and take care of yourself.